everybody, welcome. This is Gameranx Live. We're usually live every Tuesday, 4 p.m. East Coast time, but it's the end of the year. We're wrapping up, taking some time off, bringing the show back in 2020. So for now, we're going to kind of wrap through some of our personal favorite games of the year. We figured some of you guys are still, maybe going to work or wanting something to listen to. Why not three silly, doughy boys talk about video games? I'm Jake Baldino, of course. I'm joined, as always, by Andrew P. Gebbia.
Hello.
How are you?
Good.
I still always say P. I just give you the letter, not your whole middle name.
I prefer
So I can say
that.
P.
Yeah.
Andrew, the piss, Gebbia.
Okay.
Because he takes it. Tom Johnson over here in the back. How you doing, Tom?
I'm very tired. We've been working very hard this week.
You look tired. You're also not behind the board. It's nice.
I'm over here instead of over there.
It's nice to have you on the hot seat.
Yep.
I feel like I can ask you a bunch more questions now. The way we're doing this, how are we doing this?
We're just gonna go around and just talk about games.
I think the thing with a lot of our top 5 favorite games of the year, we do have
A lot of overlap.
a lot of
I actually
overlap.
don't know yours at all.
Okay, well he's
But I'm
definitely gonna have
assuming-
some.
Well, I can just.
We're all friends. We know.
I know 3 of them are probably in mine as well. Maybe
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, you win something though if you guess them all. We are going to just kind of rattle them off person by person, but there's going to be some overlap. So when like say you bring up a game and then you have it as well, be sure to chime in and be like, it's mine
Yeah,
too.
that's what I figured. Yeah.
Who's going to start? I think that's the biggest question. You guys want to flip a coin?
You're the boss. You can start.
I don't want to start.
Tell us about Resident Evil 2, Jake.
Okay, let's talk about Resident Evil
Yeah,
2.
that's number 5 on my list.
Resident Evil 2 is on my list at number 2. I
You
really
guys
like
have
Resident
numbered
Evil 2.
lists.
Wait, is it-
Wow.
is
Yes,
it
I
number-
do. Numbered list. Who would have thought? I'm very good at making those. Resident Evil 2 is great. Full disclosure, if you haven't heard me talk about it before on a million other things, I grew up with that series. 2 was my favorite. That was a very formative time for my video game years. And I'm very happy that this new Resident Evil 2 totally respects the vibe, the feeling, the scenes of the original, but makes it new and exciting. And adds some new little clever twists and a couple little subverting of expectations that I really like. But it's just kind of like a satisfying meal of a Resident Evil video game, not to mention one that's like a good intro point for people because it's kind of like old Resident Evil, and it's when it got really weird in the lore, which I love that stuff. So I'm happy that that's available for people now, and I'm happy that it's been like a big thing for Capcom, and now they're going forward. Is it on both of your lists?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it's
it's on
like,
my list.
it's like I said, it's number 5 for me.
Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
it's-
liked it for all the reasons that you just said.
It's
Really.
especially interesting because I wasn't a big Resident Evil 2 guy. And this one brought me into it. Like the modernized design and the combat stuff. The stuff they did with Mr. X himself to make him like that ever-present roving bad guy.
Very interesting and unexpected.
Yeah.
It became like this pop culture moment where people were like, oh, Mr. X. Like it became like a meme. It became this whole thing. I never ever would have seen that coming.
No, yeah, it was
cool,
super
though.
surprising. And it's like probably one of my bigger surprises of the year because I usually don't care about Resident Evil.
And now look, we got you.
Yeah, I like 3 a lot, so I can't wait to see
Yeah,
that
that's good
come
for
out.
you.
Yeah, right?
Yeah.
The
only
zombies.
here.
The zombies also like.
Yeah, zombies look great.
Holy
They
shit.
look disgusting.
It's amazing.
They sounded disgusting.
The shooting
icky.
feels fucking great.
Well, it blowing off like one of their arms.
Yeah.
And seeing it just like blump,
Yeah.
like.
It retroactive,
Yeah.
like it can make you more excited for 3 because like you could see like when the gunplay, like when the game does give you some bullets and lets you like let loose, like it's really good.
And 3, like the original 3, is way more actiony than 1 and 2. You know?
So I'm looking forward to that.
Yeah.
Like, big
really,
time.
really looking forward to it.
Resident Evil definitely high on our list. Obviously, if like it's in our top 5, highly recommend. It's been like discounted a lot. It's definitely going to be like one of the holiday sale games.
Yeah, I think it's on the
That's
Steam
good.
sale
Even though
right
technically
now.
you guys are going to be watching this on Christmas Eve. Hopefully you get it for Christmas. Maybe Santa brought it for you.
Oh, Tuesday's on,
this-
on Christmas Eve this year, huh?
Yeah,
And I think the Steam sale runs till the 1st.
it's good. You played on PC, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And it
Oh,
looks
how is
good.
it there?
Good.
Yeah, I played
Yeah.
on Xbox. I think you did too, right?
Yeah. I actually just got it.
PS4.
Yeah.
Oh, so we played it on all platforms.
Yeah, I was like, I want to play it where it was originally,
Respect.
intended.
I
Yeah.
just got an ultra-wide monitor, and I plan on replaying it on that over the break, and I'm very excited.
That's dope.
I'm very excited to hear
jealous.
how your life goes to hell now that you have an ultra wide monitor.
Yeah, as soon as I get a game like Sekiro that doesn't support ultra-wide, I'm going to lose my mind.
Sekiro doesn't support ultra wide.
No, you have to mod it, but it's a really easy mod.
Because you've been like slowly transforming into a PC monster over the last like 2 years. I feel like this is like
PC
helping,
monster. It's almost like a sea monster. but-
helping you reach your final form.
This is where I go
This one-
Super Saiyan.
Yeah.
soon as I plug in my ultra wide, I just do the thing.
Yellow
big is
hair,
it?
no eyebrows.
What?
How big is your ultra wide?
It's not a giant.
Oh, okay,
crazy
never
one.
mind.
No,
I was hoping you got like the 42-inch
no,
ultra wide.
no. It's like a normal.
I mean, it's still ultra wide, which is very giant in its own way.
It's not as big as you think it is.
It's not like the one
what
at Best Buy. It's
he
in a box that's as tall as like you.
Yeah, no, it's not that one.
Anyway,
Video games. Next up on the list, Andrew, would you like to rattle off the next one?
Sure. My number 4 on my list is Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order.
it's on mine too.
Wow. What a Star Wars boy.
I'm assuming it's also on yours.
Yes, on mine it is number 3.
Okay.
Believe it or not, yes.
No, it was just really cool to get just a solid single-player Star Wars game. No bullshit around it. Just a straight-up single-player video game. Done very well too. Likeable characters, a really enjoyable story, fun combat, fun exploration. I almost felt wrong playing it. You know what I mean? Like wrong, like I don't
Felt dirty?
Like I don't think I'm supposed to have this. Like I don't think, I don't think this is this illegal?
Yeah.
But no, and I think it respected the franchise, and I also really, really applaud Respawn on fitting it into the timeline without referencing too much of the broader picture.
No,
you know what I mean?
most of it doesn't matter.
It didn't feel as fan servicey as most of those things did.
Yeah, exactly. It was very much its own thing. There were some nods
moments.
here and
definitely.
there, but small ones,
I like the confidence that the game has in that stuff, where it does kind of want to show its own thing.
Yeah.
And when it does show old, cool, exciting lore stuff, it's just look over there.
Yeah.
Cool stuff.
But the characters it brings in are cool. Like the crew you made.
crew is excellent.
Yeah, the crew you assemble is fantastic.
I want to see more of that crew. I want to see them go on a new adventure and maybe a sequel.
yeah.
So, I think the game is really good. I think it's very video gamey, which people they're
absolutely, yeah.
obviously, Jake, it's a video game. But in terms of the way it looks, the way it plays, all the platforming,
unlocking the powers, going back.
Yeah, all of that. But I still
Chess.
think, I still got immersed despite that. I think I have a high tolerance because I've played some dumbass, weird Star Wars games over the last 25 years. But I think...
Bring back Master Terrace Kasi.
Hell yeah.
And Jedi Power Battles.
And the Super Bombad Racing.
And Rebel Assault. And Jedi Outcast.
And so we just keep
And
going.
Demolition. just keep going.
And Starfighter. And Rebel Assault. And Rebel Assault 2. And TIE Fighter.
And Pod Racer.
And Racer's Revenge. Didn't they make a second Pod Racer game?
Yeah, it's the second one.
Yeah.
That PS1 Phantom Menace game was great.
Yeah, that shit was good. Oh my god, there's so many. Jedi Starfighter. Did I say
You ever played Jedi Power Battles on Game Boy? I had
Yeah.
that. It was actually good.
It was on Advance or regular Game Boy?
Advance. No.
Tony
Yeah,
Hawk was
it
on
was
Game Boy
Yeah,
Advance.
and that was a really good
was- it
port.
was on-
Anyway,
it
we're
was
talking
on
about Star Wars Jedi Fallen
Anyway,
Order.
Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order is really good. We highly recommend it. I'm very curious. I came at it and I was totally clear. I came at it from the Star Wars fan perspective. I wonder how it is for people who aren't crazy about
Yeah, it's gonna be really interesting.
Because some gameplay, some stuff with the gameplay, I put up with because I like Star Wars.
Advance, by the way.
But it was on Game Boy Advance. Okay, thank you for that. Yeah, highly recommended though overall.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite games. Obviously, it's one of all of our favorite games of the year.
Yeah,
so
what was it? Is number 3 on my list?
Number 4 in mine.
I didn't number mine.
Oh, we got a bad boy over here. No
What's next
rules.
for you? What are you
Yeah.
going to bring up?
I'm going to talk about Outer Wilds real quick.
Okay.
I didn't play this.
I have no context for this. I have
this is all you
I have
do.
It's
nothing
really
but
cool.
questions.
It's
Yeah.
one of the coolest games I've played in a long time. So, what do you want to know about it?
Elevator pitch. Me.
Yeah. So it's Groundhog's Day with space explosions. So there's a
What?
explosion
Oh.
22 minutes in that wipes everything out. You're trying to stop that or understand that, and
Within that 22
within that 22 minutes. So you play the 22 minutes. Sun explodes. You're sent back to the beginning. There's no gear. All that you remember is what you learned along the way. So you're going through. You're exploring like 6 or 7 planets, something like that. All of them are super unique. All of them have their own mechanics. So there are these 2 planets. The ones I always tell people about. There are these the Ash and I forget the other one. They're referred to as the Hourglass Twins. And basically, one is all sand and one is a red planet with a bunch of holes in it. And it is just sand is going from one into the other.
Oh, that's
as that
cool,
goes
like a
on.
gravity thing.
So if you need to do stuff in that planet, you have to do it first thing because the second you get there, all of those underground areas are filling up with sand.
Oh, that's
Clever.
cool.
And while that's happening, there is a
You'd only know that if you got to that point and died,
Yeah.
and then remember to go back there, right?
yeah, exactly. And like as it fills in, it like raises the floor so you can get to different areas that you couldn't get otherwise. And like at the same time, the other one that has all the sand originally is getting the floor is lowering and uncovering all of these like facilities and all this other stuff on
cool.
it. Yeah.
So I guess you can't do both in one go.
No, or yeah, it's weird. No, you have to go do one and then hop to the other.
Oh.
I have a question. With this stuff, does it get I can't tell what kind of game it is, like puzzle. Is it complicated enough to the point where like you have to write stuff down?
Oh no, okay.
And then
so
like you die
might
and you
want
remember
to.
it?
I jotted notes down, but on your ship, there's a computer that logs all of the stuff you've learned.
Okay, so that's
And
like your one.
it's basically
data point.
yeah, you pretty much have a Charlie Day and Always Sunny in Philadelphia like pictures with like strings attaching them.
Okay.
Board with all the stuff you've
All right, that's
learned,
cool.
and then it'll be like there's still stuff to explore here, like written on it, so you know where you still have to go find stuff. Like you're going around, you're translating notes from like inscriptions from an ancient race.
So is there like, what are you also going for? Is there like a story? Like, is it atmospheric? Like, what are you?
Yeah. So the story is like it's uncovered throughout the progression of it as you're like reading like the experiments that these precursor races were doing, and like the experiments like what you uncover like, okay, this is the reason the sun's doing what it is, and it has to do with like the history of like this world and all that other stuff. It's really cool. It does like really interesting little things I haven't seen, where like you're translating all of this stuff, so it doesn't translate one-to-one. So like no, it translates one-to-one. So stuff like idioms that are written in the original language just come off weird and strange because that stuff doesn't translate right.
Wow.
So it's like the little details. It's just
It's
full
not
of,
like doing Abed in Final Fantasy X,
Yes,
where it's
exactly.
like it's literally just straight.
But yeah, it's like there's so much care. Like everything feels like handcrafted in a way that I'm not used to in video games anymore.
That's cool.
Yeah, it's neat. You guys should play it.
I'm
It's
very
cool.
like
want to.
like I'm glad that people like found this game because it
It's-
seems like it's like definitely people are really sticking to it like crazy.
Yeah, and I'm glad that people are like clinging to it because
Game
it
Pass
is.
title, right?
Yeah, it is a Game Pass title.
And you're an alien, right? You're not like a human man.
No,
right?
no, you're an alien man.
Yeah, that's cool. And you
Like
meet
you s-
other different aliens.
Mostly just your alien types.
Okay.
Yeah, because like they're ancient extinct races that you find like corpses of with like all their stuff.
So is it like kind of like a lonely space game?
Very much.
Okay, I like
You'll
those.
run
Okay.
into maybe one or two of your other like the astronauts from Outer Wilds Ventures on
Okay.
other planets, and they'll just be like hanging out, and you'll talk to them. They'll be like, "Hey, I experienced this thing," and you'll be like, "All right, cool. I'm dying over and over again, all this stuff," and they'll be like, "Huh, that's weird." Anyway,
Oh, that's only something that's happening to you.
it's only
specifically?
happening to you.
Oh wow.
Oh, shit.
Okay.
Yeah,
Interesting.
Yeah,
So that's like a
it's-
mystery you need to uncover.
it's interesting. Yeah,
Okay, that's cool.
I'm down.
Yeah, I gotta play that.
yeah, it's really cool.
Next up for me, number 5 on my list, I had Anno 1800.
That game's cool.
Let me grind this video to a halt and talk about strategy city building games about 18th century or 19th century industrial revolution
Tell
shit.
me.
Anno 1800 is really cool. It's a good city builder / strategy game that starts off very much city builder and slowly becomes more of a strategy game over time. But it's just a really satisfying one because it's like they took it's not like Civilization where it's like, oh, build a civilization or build a society and history and all that. And it's not like City Skylines where it's like build a modern city. This is very specifically rooted in like early 1800s, pre-industrial, growing to the Industrial Revolution, colonialism, like all that stuff. Trade. So it's like specifically like sticks with those rule sets and it allows it to like really focus in on that stuff. So you start out and you just build a little farming community, and then you very slowly build it up to a city of industry. Then you realize that to get certain industries in and trade certain goods, you need to establish other industries, but you don't have the soil for it, so then you need to build boats to then go across the water, establish a new community, like to say, work for one certain good, like sugar or something, so then you can have trade routes going back and forth. I just like that stuff. It's fun.
No, the Anno games are great. Have you played any of the others?
I've never played any single other Anno game.
The future one, I think it's like 2205.
90210?
Yeah, I don't know. I know they all add up to 9 if you add the numbers up.
Oh, that's cute.
Yeah.
That's cute.
But like the future one is super cool. They're definitely worth checking out if you can get them on sale.
Yeah, I mean,
they're
this
cool.
this one's on sale right now, I think, and I think they just added like new content to it that I haven't jumped into yet.
Oh,
I've
interesting.
had it in my cart like 3 or 4 times. Like,
It's
do I
definitely
pull the trigger,
accessible.
or do I pull, no.
I think it's accessible at first. It's got a really good story mode that is essentially you're still progressing and building a city like you would if you were in sandbox mode or multiplayer mode.
Yeah.
But I think it strings you along pretty well and shows you the rope. And also, like, if you got a kick-ass PC, like, the level of detail is really exciting. Like, I was telling you, not to, like...
Nano 800 has ultra-wide support.
Not to, like, repeat myself, but there's, like, you know, once you have a sawmill and you start producing lumber, then you can see the lumber getting hauled on a cart from the lumber
Yeah, you
mill
were telling me that. That
to
sounds
the dock.
wild.
You see the dudes unloading the lumber and loading it, and then you can trade it. And I love stuff like that. I really, really do.
Andrew's checking out the ultra-wide support on his phone of
How does it
Nano
look?
1800.
It's got to be crazy.
Trying to look.
It's definitely impressive visually, and I like games where you build stuff and you get to look
No, we
at
like
it.
city builders. That's the thing
Oh,
that you
yeah.
and I have
Fucking love it.
for a long time been very public about.
That's ultra wide support. That's gorgeous. It also, like, you know, over time it gets more aggressive. Like, then you have to worry about other people. So it's kind of like a cool transition between the two.
Yeah.
But city builder is like the core thing at the start, and I love it so much. Especially because it gets more complicated, and
Yeah.
you're juggling multiple. It's like, oh, you have the new world and the old world, and like you have to like worry about both of them at the same time, and also worry about trading and stuff. I wish there was a little bit more stats. Like, it doesn't really go as far as to give you like hardcore like graphs and stuff, but like I'm like, I want bar graphs. Like, give me that shit. It's like almost there, but not quite. I think because sometimes that scares people away. But I highly, highly recommend Anno 1800. I
check
feel
it out.
like every year I kind of wind down my year with like a new strategy game or a new city builder type game, and this year it happened to be Anno 1800. Last year it was. I was
Civ.
late to the party, but it was what's the cold
Civ-
one?
Oh,
What's the cold one?
Frostpunk.
Frostpunk. It was Frostpunk for me last year, but that's super stressful. Anno 1800 is a little bit more of like a good time.
If you care,
Definitely
it's
recommend
45% off on the Ubisoft store right now.
Wow.
If you want to check it out.
Yeah, shout out to that.
Currently looking at
Yeah,
it.
if you want to deal with, is that Uplay? I guess that's all. I guess that's the only place it's on right now.
It's on there and it's on Epic, but even if it works on Epic the way like Siege works on Steam,
It pushes you to.
Uplay,
Yeah.
which is so it's just like not really a big deal unless you care about having your libraries in the same place, which I understand.
Highly recommend it though. So Anno 1800, that's my vote. What
buy
do you
that.
got next for you, Daddy-O?
I need to refer to my list because I don't remember
Kid
what
can't even remember his video
I've
games.
talked about. Boom, boom. Okay, number 3 on my list is Control.
All right, cool. That's one of mine too.
Yeah,
Control is my number one.
cool.
Mine, if
So
I had
anyway,
to pick a number one, it
be
would be
your number one.
Control.
So we're
Yeah.
taking this point from you.
That's fine.
No, I'm kidding.
That's fine.
No,
my honestly, my whole top 5 for the most part was like very hard to number.
Oh yeah, I struggled.
And my 1 and 2 kind of went back and forth for a while. But no, I thought Control was great. Just for a record, big fan of Remedy games. Like I've always been a fan of what they do. And one thing I liked about Control is honestly how they're able to take a little aspect of every single game that they've developed and kind of bring it all together to create Control. It kind of plays like Remedy's greatest hits almost.
Hell yeah.
You know what I mean?
I agree.
With a lot of Quantum Break stuff coming in.
But with a way better, like with it being way better.
Yeah, they took the ferocity and like how
Aggression,
like,
the forward.
I was exactly
go.
With Quantum Break, you always, during the combat, you always felt like you were moving forward, and they did that here. Like they brought that over as well. And I always make the joke that Control does a better job of like force powers than Fallen Order does.
Yeah, it
like
does.
making you like feel it.
Yeah.
You know, like in Control, it comes off like whenever Kylo Ren uses the Force in like Force Awakens, where it's like it feels heavy.
It's like,
Exactly.
Yeah.
So Control has that. Also, just the aesthetic of the game too. It's just so.
It looks awesome.
It's so nice to look at. You know, just not even like from a graphic standpoint, but just stylistic decisions that they made as well.
No, everything looks like the concept art.
Yeah.
yeah, I want to get the art book. It's
Yeah.
legit because
I thought-
it's so nice.
I thought Jess was a really cool character. I thought the whole thing with the oldest house and just kind of like
The oldest house is so cool.
uncovering what that is throughout the entire game, and also that being a character all on its own.
It's a really great mix of like it's like
Yeah.
a mix of X-Files. It's a mix of Twin Peaks.
Yeah.
A little bit. It's a mix of one other one that I've never watched.
It
but-
also just had like the Max Payne. I think it took the eerie feeling of Alan Wake and like the noir from Max Payne and kind of combined them.
And it's got Ghostbuster stuff too. It's
And
very Ghostbusters.
Yeah, and it's got
in a weird way.
Ghostbuster stuff as well. But no, this little world that Remedy built all within this one building is just unreal, you know? And and even like the world surrounding it on the outside too. It was I don't know. It still just like blows my mind.
They give you little things.
Yeah,
That little lore
that
things.
new like additional content pack is out for free right now, and I need to check that out.
Yeah, and they're going to keep supporting it. I'm very curious to see where they go with this story.
Yeah, I downloaded Control again last night so I can play it.
Yeah.
I like it very much for pretty much exactly what you said. I think it's Remedy's best game, not counting Max Payne, which I know isn't saying like too much, but I think it's definitely.
I'd say it is their best game.
I feel like it kicks the ass off of Alan Wake and Quantum Break, and I say that as someone who like understands Alan Wake is a big deal. But I think Control.
Big fan of Alan Wake.
But I think Control really kind of nails it in a lot of ways, and it's also really fun to explore. Really fun little bit of Metroidvania because all the extra stuff that you can find that's optional is well thought out, really well
like
done,
just straight
and
up powers.
And
like
it matters.
straight up, yeah,
And it matters.
Totally
like,
matters, yeah. Like it's the game doesn't like there's no bullshit, there's no fluff, which I like, but it still didn't feel like it was like 2 minutes long. Like it was a satisfying.
I think
playthrough.
Control was like the perfect length for a video game.
It also was pretty challenging.
Yeah, it was.
Yeah, it was surprisingly challenging.
There was that weird difficulty spike at the end. That
Oh
I,
my God.
was
Yeah.
it was like really annoying. You know, it almost felt like they were pulling the NES thing where like those games were like purposely hard to extend the playtime of it. You know
like
what I
that
mean?
old school technique.
Yeah, like it almost felt like they were doing something similar to that, like the Silver Surfer NES game. But yeah, no, it was a great game, and I can't wait for these DLC packs to come out.
Any other thoughts?
Like the story ones.
No, I just want to see more of it. I want to see more of that world. I hope that we get a sequel at some point, even though it didn't sell super well.
Control 2. Controlled.
Control 2, more like X-Files this time. Let's go.
Controller. I don't know what they would call it.
What about you, Tom? Anything else? I can't let him go on.
Sorry.
No.
Wait, do you have any other comments to make?
No.
Or just any?
Nah, it's good. Play it.
Y'all want to talk about Death Stranding now?
All right, let's do it.
That's the last-
That's on your list?
Yeah, it's the last. We've talked now. That's the 5th game on my list.
Okay.
Okay.
So let's.
Death Stranding, full disclosure, is on my list. It's not my number one.
It is my number one. Death Stranding is actually my game of the year.
Wow.
Yeah.
Death Stranding is a game I have I have a lot of weird thoughts on it. I think I can't even fit in this video. But I was frustrated for a lot of it, but then ultimately walked away after beating it, enjoying it, and being like, I'm going to remember that. And it was different, and I liked it. It was a good time.
It is one of the weirdest things Kojima's done in his career.
Definitely.
I found the gameplay loop addictive, though.
Yeah,
No,
I kept doing deliveries. I'm
loved
I'm
it.
gonna keep delivering stuff, and I'm gonna keep unlocking more stuff. I need more batteries for my backpack.
Mine got, like, me and the gameplay actually got so bad to a point where I was like, okay, this is taking me longer than it has to. Like, I have to start mainlining the story. Like, I need to because I'm going to be here forever. Because, like, in my head, because I'm a completionist, I would have, like, if I didn't stop myself, I would sit there and 5-star everyone.
Yeah.
And it's like, like, it takes too long. I can't.
Yeah, it's
like,
a
I
big,
have to.
It's a lot of walking.
Yeah, and then I got to the part where the story really starts to, like, take over more. And it's like, oh, now it's really moving.
Yeah, no.
And
Once I
wanna
got
see
to
what
that
the deal
point,
is. Yeah.
it was once you hit that precipice, it is like it just keeps pushing you.
Yeah.
In the direction until the end. Like, it's super cool.
I think my biggest gripe with the game would be that it's very front-loaded and back-loaded for sure.
I 100% agree. They should have like dispersed the story a little bit through here and there. The ways they did, I didn't like. I only ended up really liking the shit they gave me at the end.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay, cool.
But at the same time, I do like how they almost give a chapter to every character in the game.
Yeah.
Like, that I really do appreciate.
Yeah.
How it would, like, you know, you really get to flesh out Hartman and Deadman and Deadman and Mama. Like, I like that stuff a lot. That's another thing too. I think the cast of characters are great. Like, I actually really genuinely enjoyed learning more about them and seeing how that person specifically deals with this crazy thing that is the Death Stranding, to see how it affected them and their life and how they went on dealing with it.
Yeah, just seeing how the world continues to try and move on
is
the fact.
really cool. I really love the story too. If I honestly thought it was like less complicated than some Metal Gear stories. I know people seem to come off like with it's more complicated.
It's
but
not. It just, for me, it was like they
it's-
threw useless shit at me that I didn't need to hear.
I think that when it's all said and done and the game is over,
yeah. That story is great.
It's great, and it's not that hard to understand.
No.
Where sometimes Metal Gears like do leave you like, I need to go back and replay just this part.
Yeah.
Because I don't know what the fuck was going on.
No, I had it very clear by the end of Death Stranding. I was like totally
exactly.
like, okay.
It's not like Sons of Liberty where it ends and you have to play it again.
You go, wait, what?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Like it doesn't do that at all. And I think the story is really cool, really interesting. It's just a really good, like, weird, out there sci-fi story. You know, I know I brought this up with Control, but the style of this game as well, like the gear, weapons, the buildings, vehicles, stuff
Cool
like that.
sci-fi design.
I just love the way it looks.
It has been really cool to see Kojima make it like an actual sci-fi game instead of like a military game with sci-fi
elements,
trappings in it.
No, I agree.
I very much like get why some people might not like it.
Like, it's definitely not for everyone.
Weird. But I came away being like, wow, that felt
like
for me, I was like, that felt like a really long journey.
Yeah,
and I was into that.
Part of me was like, you were. I knew he was going to be into it. I knew like after playing it, I was like, okay, I'm not going to get sick of this. I know he's not going to get sick of this. You were the one I was like, yo, it's 50-50 with Tom.
He could heel turn.
Like I could see him really liking this, or I could see him hating it.
I didn't like it for several hours.
Yeah, and I'm really glad that you stuck with it.
Then something just clicked.
For me, it clicked instantly. I made that first delivery. I was like, oh, I can get into this.
Now Tane, I can get into.
Now Tane, I can get into.
It also is like it like exposes you to cool new music.
Yeah,
you know? It makes you listen to bands that you never would have listened to, which I like stuff like that.
Yeah, and the way it's implemented is really cool.
Yeah, for the most part. One time a song started and I was like almost at the end of my destination. I was like, wait, I'm just gonna like walk around a little bit before I pull into the driveway just to hear the rest of the song.
I like when it knows you had a really long like trek because the camera would zoom out, like pan out a little bit.
Yeah.
So Sam became smaller and you felt more alone. And then all of the low roar songs sound like you're walking alone in the snow at night by yourself. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's very specific, but correct.
Yeah, and like when a low roar song would start playing along with the camera panning, like zooming out, and you just walking by yourself, and it was always really, really cool.
I heard that you struggled with that, huh? Low roar. Say that 5 times fast.
Low roar.
Low roar. Low roar. Low roar. Low roar.
Low roar. You know what it is? The older I get, the more the Long Island hard R's are starting to pop up.
Hard R?
I'm going to start saying soda
No,
soon.
You're not. I'm going to kill you if you do.
Yeah,
I'm going to
and then
assassinate
I'm
you.
never going to leave my house. I can't speak to anybody.
I think it had a lot of good standout side characters. Like I wasn't totally into Norman Reedus, but I was really into everyone surrounding him.
Yes.
The whole supporting cast was sick.
Well, it's because Norman Reedus had the
Metal Gear 5
Yeah,
thing.
the Metal Gear 5 thing, where they got him for, like, these sessions, and then everything in between is, like, him just grunting at the camera.
Yeah.
At least he talked more than Kiefer, though.
Yeah.
Towards the end, like, he does open his fucking mouth a little bit more.
Yes.
And I liked it.
And then his ultimate resolution, I think, is good.
Yeah.
Satisfying. Very satisfying. I'm going to remember it for a while. I'm not going to play it again anytime soon.
And I don't think I ever wanted a sequel.
I do want to see what it looks like on PC, though.
Oh.
True. You're right.
I don't know. I probably won't touch it because I thought I was going to dive head first into Red Dead 2 on PC, and even on sale, I'm like, I'm not doing that again.
There's not enough time in the world.
Yeah, and that's not me throwing shade at Red Dead 2. I love Red Dead 2, but
it's a lot.
Yeah.
So, Death Stranding is your number one.
That's my game of the year.
Control is my number one game of the year.
Control was my number one game of the year.
I think Control is better than Death Stranding. Suck it.
Well, that's why it's your number one.
What are you going to throw the whole, like, well, that's your opinion, man thing? What if we fight right now?
I still have one more game to talk about. I don't think y'all are done.
What do you got?
Days Gone.
Dave's gone.
Dave is gone.
Where'd he go?
So Days Gone is my number 2.
Not on my list, but I like it.
Yeah, Days Gone is my number 2. I know it didn't review too well, and because of that, I think a lot of people didn't like pick it up and give it a fair shot. It's a flawed game. It's almost like Bend missed the past few years in video games and just saw some like quality, didn't see some of the quality of life improvements that were made just in general. That aside, though, the story is really cool. I really love the narrative. It makes you care about the characters. Deacon, Boozer.
Wait, is a character named Boozer?
Yeah. It's your best friend.
Oh, tight.
They're bikers, so they have dumb names. I mean, your name is Deacon St. John.
Sam Porter Bridges.
Yeah. No, but it does I think it does a very good job at making you give a shit about the characters and making you give a shit about the story. It also has something similar to Death Stranding, where in the middle, it kind of slogs a little bit, and the game is probably a few hours too long. But then you get into the final act, and it feels different enough from the rest of the game.
Yeah.
Where it's like, okay, like it was kind of worth it. Also, just seeing Deacon interact with certain people and how you could tell he just does not want to be there and does not want to interact with these people, I think that's really cool. The combat, at first, not great.
Gets better.
Yeah, it gets better after you upgrade it.
Yeah.
You know, it kind of does like the thing where like, and Fallen Order did this too, where I don't think double jump should be unlocked. I think double jump at this point is just like, just let me do it.
Yeah.
I should just be able to do it.
Yeah.
And the same thing here with Days Gone, where I don't feel like I should have spent hours upgrading my combat tree to make the gunplay actually like
Playable.
better.
Yeah.
You know, thankfully I spent a lot of time with the using melee weapons, and when you do start taking on hordes, it doesn't really matter if you're pulling off precision shots or not. You just want to get bullets into that crowd just to start knocking freakers back. Loved all the bike stuff as well, like taking the time to like build up your bike, replacing parts with newer parts, better tires, better
satisfying.
armor, bigger gas tanks, like stuff like that was really cool. Reminded me very much of Mad Max doing that stuff there, which was also the best part of that game.
And a very underrated game.
Yeah, it is.
Should not have released the same day as Phantom Pain. Don't know why they
Oh, I
thought
forgot
that
it
was. A good
was.
idea.
Yeah, whoops.
Yeah.
Whoa.
But no, Days Gone is very much a like if it's I think it's a perfect example of like a game that gets like a 7 out of 10, right?
And sometimes that's good.
Yeah. Or I'll even go as low as like it's a game that it's like a 6 out of 10 game, but that doesn't mean it's bad. I don't think it's a 6 out of 10, but I would understand why someone would say it is.
Right. But you happen to love it.
Yeah, but where it's just like, oh, 6 out like a 6 or a 7, that's not a bad score. That does not mean it's a bad video game.
No, it's average.
It does mean it's flawed. It does exactly. It means it's average. But sometimes there's I think if the gameplay was better, Days Gone would have scored way higher. Because I think in terms of like story, it nails it. It's
Yes.
there. They don't have to fix anything.
That's what kept me hooked, too.
Yeah, it was definitely the gameplay that kind of made a drop for most people, I think, because it's hard to care about the story and see the story through when you can't get into the gameplay,
Yeah.
which is something that I totally understand. But I'm surprised that Days Gone stayed this high on my list, even after the, Fallen
many
Order
things.
and Control and stuff like that, yeah. But no, Days Gone, I liked it a lot. Yeah, it's my number 2.
Awesome.
It was my number 1 until Death Stranding came out.
Wow. Look at that.
Yep.
Sony pony over here,
Oh yeah, that's right. Those are both Sony.
technically.
Well, kind of.
Yeah.
Death Stranding's already not.
Yeah, so much for that.
Yeah.
Bye-bye.
I don't care about any of that, but
So, overall, what is there? Control, Days Gone, Star Wars Jedi Fallen Order,
Outer Wilds.
Outer Wilds, Anno 1800,
Days Gone.
Days Gone. Did I say
Resident
Days
Evil
Gone?
2.
Resident Evil 2. Those are our games. Those are the games we like the most.
Yep.
Not the most surprising year for any,
No.
pretty typical list.
But we're going to a very weird year
Yeah.
coming
Weird
up.
year.
So
I don't think
Emotional year.
this game didn't. I mean, this year didn't really have any crazy like surprises or.
well, guess what?
sleeper
Next
hits
year
or-
we got consoles
Legends.
coming.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, no, Apex Legends. Yeah, no, that was. Yeah, I spent some time with that, and I enjoyed it all. And just recently, I actually reinstalled it, and I was like, I'm gonna go back, maybe.
Next year, we're just going to do
If it has ultra wide support.
all do videos on just consoles. That's it. Said next Xbox, PS5. So get ready, buckle up.
I can't wait for that Xbox.
It looks cool.
It looks so
I think it
cool.
looks
so cool looking.
And the
Wow,
Digital
we're all in
Foundry-
agreement. Wow.
Yeah. The Digital Foundry article that you
Yeah,
mentioned in the Friday show, really interesting.
yeah, it is.
What I read of it, I didn't finish it, but what I read was interesting.
I can't wait to see what Sony's going to do as well.
Yeah,
Yeah.
me
I
too.
can't wait to see what PC's going to do. What is PC going to put out?
I don't know. PC's so good. How come there's no PC too?
Hey.
All
All right, ladies and gentlemen, those are our personal games of the years. You can also check out our Game of the Year awards video where we awarded a bunch of awards to games. How many times can I say award in one sentence?
Yeah, that fucked me up.
Yeah, you can check that out. That'll be linked when it's live. Also, I think in the comments, we'd definitely like to hear your own
Yeah,
top
post
5.
them. Post them.
I also want to say, too, if you just watch a lot of YouTube videos, you don't play a lot of games, which I hear some people say sometimes. If you only have a top 2, don't feel bad. We want to
Yeah.
hear your top 2.
No, put it in the comments.
Probably awesome. Time spent, time enjoyed is time. What is it? Time enjoyed is time well spent. So there you go. We'd love to hear what you guys are playing. We shared what we were playing. Now I'm going to go to bed forever.
Yeah, oh my God, yeah.
Going to hibernate until 2020. I still don't even know what year it is. Any final words, boys?
Nah.
Video games.
What he
Video
said.
games.
All right, okay.
You got to say it too.
Video games.
He said it.
All right.
Don't yell at him.